see you again. Hey, this week we're talking more about courage, and I have a story for you from the book of Ruth. Now, the book of Ruth is all about a lady named Ruth and a lady named Naomi. I'll tell you all about it. There was a lady named Naomi, and her husband went to a land called Moab. Now, they were Israelites, and they were from Israel, but there was a famine in the land, meaning they didn't have enough food, and they needed someplace to get their food, so they went to Moab, even though Moab was kind of like their enemy. And they had 2 sons, and while they were there, their sons married Moabite women, and the 2 women's names were Ruth and Orpah. Now, we don't know why it happened, but somehow Naomi's husband died. And then it says 10 years later, both of her sons died too. It was really terrible for Naomi, and it was bad for Ruth and Orpah, their wives, too. When all the men in the family had died, they had a choice to make. And Naomi decided she wanted to go back home with the Israelite people. So she prepared everything and got ready to leave and told Ruth and Orpah that they should go back to their houses they grew up in with their mother and father and maybe try and find new husbands. Naomi said, "Don't come with me. I'm an old woman. I have no more sons. There's no one left in my family for you to marry. You should go try and find other husbands. I need to go back to my homeland. Maybe someone will take pity on me and treat me kindly." Then Ruth said to her, "No, I can't leave you. You've been my mother-in-law for 10 years. I'm staying." And Naomi told her, "No, go home. You and Orpah, go home." And Orpah decided that maybe it was a better idea to go home. And so she left. But Ruth said, "No, I'm not leaving you no matter what you say." And then she said something that's still famous to this day. She said, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. May God deal with me ever so severely if anything except death separates me and you." And then Naomi realized she was not going to convince Ruth to leave. Now, Ruth was making a big choice doing this. Remember, I said the Moabites and the Israelites were enemies. As a Moabite, going into Israel, people could treat her really terribly. She had never been there. She didn't know anyone. The only person she would know there at all would be Naomi. It must have been a really scary choice to make, but she also knew what the right thing was to do. She knew that Naomi didn't have any close family there. She knew that Naomi didn't have any hope of being remarried or having more children or getting a family to take care of her in her old age. She knew that Naomi's only chance at being taken care of was her. So even though Ruth must have been very afraid, she still made the right choice. And that's what courage is, making the right choice even though you're afraid. Ruth really surprised Naomi and everyone. When they got to Israel, everyone was really amazed at how kind Ruth was to Naomi, how dedicated she was to making sure that Naomi was taken care of. And it got the attention of a man named Boaz. And it's a long story, but eventually Ruth and Boaz get married, and they have a son, and they take care of Naomi in her old age, just like Ruth promised to do. So this week, how can we be like Ruth? Ruth found herself in some kind of sad and definitely scary situations. But she didn't let her fear keep her from doing what she knew was right. Oftentimes, when we're scared or when we're sad, it can be a lot easier to just do nothing at all. When we're faced with a difficult choice, it can sometimes feel like doing nothing is okay. But did you know that doing nothing is also a choice? So our challenge this week is when you're scared or when you're feeling sad, don't do nothing. Don't just freeze up and hope that that big decision passes you by. Make the right choice. Remember how Ruth could have done nothing. She could have just stayed where she was and let Naomi leave the way that Orpah did. The way that Naomi told her to do. Even though Naomi was telling her, no, don't come with me, Ruth still knew it was the right choice. And she didn't let her fear stop her. So let's try that this week. Let's make sure that even if we feel scared or even if we're sad, that we still make the right choice and do what we know we should do. Okay, friends? I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.